What's up, boys and girls? It's AgentJucey here today. In this video, we're going to be doing a little smackdown on hardware of the Blackberry Q10 and the R10 or the Q5. Today, the CEO released all that information, and basically what we do know, it's called a Q5. That being said, look at my other videos, it'll definitely bring you up to speed. That being said, though, I think it's like half the phone of the Q10 because they call it Q5, and I guess if you put two Q5s together, you get a Q10. I'm just kidding. It's a math joke. Also, as well, if you look at my picture itself, it's half the size. So, yeah, enough of the lame jokes. Let's dive right into it. So, the names of these phones on the left is the Q10. The one that's on the right is the Q5. The screen size is 3.1 inches and 3.1 inches for both of them. The resolutions are the same, 720 by 720. The PPI for both displays are going to be exactly the same, which I think is 330 PPI. The displays on the Q10 is going to be Super AMOLED or AMOLED, whichever you guys prefer. And to the Q5, it's going to be a TFT LCD. Both devices are going to be a touchscreen, and the material that the Q10 has is glass. The material on the Q5 is going to be like a plastic. The plastic is going to be the same that was used on the 9800 Torch. The front of the box is going to be reinforced. Appearance to the front, to the box, to the back, it's going to be plastic, steel, and then reinforced plastic, as we would see as seen in the Blackberry Q10, and it's going to be all polycarbonate for the Blackberry Q5. The keyboard is going to be closely matched to the Bold series, and then the keyboard for that is going to be quite similar to the Curve. The processors on each of these are going to be a 1.5 dual core on the Q10 and a 1.2 on the Q5, or half the Q10. I don't know, it's a really stupid name. Let's just use R10 now on. So the RAM is going to be 2 gigs and 2 gigs for each of them. The internal memory on board is going to be 16 gigabytes versus 8 gigabytes, which is really weird, and I want you guys to know this. The BlackBerry OS is quite large. It's almost 5 gigabytes of data. So what you're going to be looking at is actually, let's just say it's 5 gigs. It might be 4, who knows? You're actually going to be looking at roughly 3 gigabytes of space. The memory card capabilities are 64, next to the battery or underneath the battery door. And 64 on the side that I showed you guys in the pictures earlier. The connectors are going to be micro HDMI and a micro USB, and you're not going to have any HDMI connection for that, like I said before. The SIM card is going to be a micro SIM for both of them. One is going to be on the outside of the device, on the Q5, and one is going to be under the battery, or next to the battery, basically, on the Q10. The battery, it's going to be a 2100 milliampere replaceable, and the battery for the Q5 is a non-removable 2100 milliampere. I think it's going to be 2180 at launch, but let's just go with what they're saying right now. The battery life on the Q5 is going to be really impressive, by the way, because it has a lower CPU and a lower screen, basically an LCD, which isn't as bright. So it's going to be really interesting, though, to do a battery comparison. That being said, what we do have here is an 8 megapixel camera, and we have a 5 megapixel camera, both of them fully capable of shooting at 1080p. I believe this is basically recycled parts from the BlackBerry playbook that they're using into the R10, but they will never tell you that. Or leftover parts from the Torch, even. Who knows? We'll definitely compare the actual pictures, though, and I'll let you guys know, because to see the actual comparison of how the appearance of the images look on the devices. So stick around for that. That's going to be definitely interesting. Communications going to be all Wi-Fi, NFC, assisted GPS, Bluetooth, NFC, LTE, basically for the same. What's really interesting here, though, it's the dimensions. It's going to have the same height or length. Then it's going to have pretty close width. The width on the R10 is going to be a little smaller, like 0.8 millimeters. But the thickness is going to be a lot thicker for just like 0.4. So it's going to be quite similar in dimensions, just slightly less wide for the R10, which is going to be really interesting. The weight is really interesting though. We have 139 grams here and we have 120 here, which is basically a difference of 19. And that's basically 19 grams due to the use of steel on the actual frets or the keypad. And what we do know is going to be running OS 10. So this basically is my hardware smackdown show off before we actually get the device. How it actually looks. I'm actually planning to get this device as soon as possible. And maybe we could do something with this device, something hint. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying, but I'd actually, yeah, enough said. So this is AgentJucey. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. I wish I could show my thumb right now and be like a like. Thanks for watching. I'm out.